Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Sunday. I hope this finds you well. I won't be going live today, so instead, I'm going to do a recorded video. I'm going to do a card reading for you to set the tone and to provide you some support this week around. I just asked the cards what would be helpful to know in order to pave the path for peace in our lives. So just take a moment to drop in right here where you are and tune in to number one, number two, or number three. And today I'm going to be reading from both the Divine AF Oracle deck and the Divine Downloads deck. Both my decks you can find on my website, lisbethoverton.com. So let's get right to it. So if you chose pile number one, this is for you. So we'll start with the Divine Downloads card decks. The card is Faith. And the message is, or the affirmation for this first card in pile number one is, I believe in things I can't yet see, and I expect miracles. And here's a little wisdom for you to marinate on. Exercising faith is the ultimate form of trust. Faith is truly believing something you can't necessarily see, and it takes a lot of practice. So the question for you, if you chose pile number one, is where in your life can you exercise a little more faith? Very powerful card. And what I know to be true about faith and this idea of believing in something that you can't yet see, but maybe you have a little seed or a little inkling that you are supported. You can build on that and it can get bigger over time. And in my experience, the depth of your faith, the depth to which you believe that you were supported, is synonymous with the supply that you are given. In other words, if you're just like, I don't really feel it, I don't really believe in it, well, that is what you will experience. However, if you literally jump off the deep end and you trust that your parachute will deploy, your wings will spread, and you will be supplied what you need, that is the experience that you will have. That's my own personal lived experience. So I hope that's helpful. And now from the Divine AF card deck to go with the Faith card is Divine Timing. So here is the message. There is no timeline. There is only this moment. Plus, your soul only keeps divine time. That means you are never ahead or behind on your journey. Only and always ROT, right on time, for your soul's evolution. And the question for you is, how can you honor your journey today? Beautiful. So that's pile number one, faith and divine timing. How divine. Okay, if you chose pile number two, your card is Ask. Ooh, so simple and so profound. Here's your affirmation. It is easy for me to ask for help. Here's the wisdom. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. It's courageous and honorable to ask for help, and something that we're all working on, right? So the question for you is, what do you need to ask for right now? What would be the most beneficial way for you to receive support? Just do it. Just ask for it, because what's the worst thing that could happen? The person might say no, or however, I bet you if you ask, someone will be able to help you, because people can only help us to the degree to which we're willing to ask, right? And people want to help you. Okay, that's interesting. So the card from the Divine Downloads is Ask, and the one from the Divine F deck is Be Still. I love this. I was just thinking about this last night. Did you know that the words listen and silence are the same? like the letters that make up the words. And so what I'm getting right now is that often we feel like we don't even know what to ask for. Well, that's where being still comes in, right? If we can just be still for a hot minute, or if we can go out in nature and just stand or sit at the base of a tree, if we can listen and we can become silent, that is where the divine intel is easier to access. And then it's like, oh, that's what I should ask for. Okay, cool. Okay, so be still. It is courageous. That's funny. Courage is trending here. It is courageous to carve out time for sacred rest. It is during times of rest and stillness that wonderful insights from spirit trickle in. So the question for you is, can you detach from your habit of busyness just for today and honor rest instead? Oh, the irony. I just love this message so much. There's this hustle culture and this wearing this busy badge of busyness. Well, I can't, I'm busy. Really? What are you busy doing? And is it really important to your soul? So, pile number 2, the ask card and be still. So good. Okay, and pile number 3, woo, resistance. Love this card so much. So the affirmation, if you chose pile number 3, is I witness my fear to change one compassionate breath at a time. Resistance is a common reaction when stepping up in a bigger way than you have before. What you resist persists. Often, the bigger the transformation, the bigger the resistance. So the question for you is, what are you resisting? And how can you honor yourself as you work through it, right? I actually spoke about this last week. The difference between, or this procrastination and this idea of resistance. I often find for myself, if I'm feeling like, I just don't want to like execute on something, and I'm sort of, I would say, dragging my feet or procrastinating, usually it's actually my soul allowing me to pause because I need more intel. I need more research. I need more information. Not always, most of the time though. And so resistance usually comes in when it's kind of like, here's a practical example. Let's say writing thank you notes. Sometimes it might feel like a chore, or, oh, I have to do this. However, when you actually sit down to do it and then you hear from the person, oh, thank you so much for your thank you note, it just feels so good. But there's a little bit of resistance. That's a very simple practical example. Usually when we feel resistance, it's because we are trying to expand on our journey and we're trying to break through, let's say, some limiting beliefs or things like that. And it's like our ego wants us to stay where we are, which is real small and stuck. And our higher selves, our divine eternal nature, is really wanting us to expand because that is our true nature. And so when we're not doing that, there's this like, it's like taffy and it doesn't feel good. So give yourself the grace to ask yourself, what are you resisting and how can you honor it as you process, integrate, work through it? And then the divine AF card to go with pile number 3 is the art of allowing. I love this so much. There's always a theme. You are divine and wise beyond measure. Your beingness is the portal to the fulfillment of your soul's purpose. And here's the question. Can you allow your being to be enough? Which ties in beautifully with this be still card. Like who are you without all of your, I don't know, titles and obligations and duties and tasks? Like just at your core, who are you? Well, you are love, like pure and simple. So if we actually believe that, if we believe in and we have faith in that we are supported and that we are divine as we are. I mean, we are extensions of source. And so that is that is magnificent. So can't that just be enough? Like, we don't have to do anything. We don't have to jump through any hoops. We can just be. So, pile number 1, faith and divine timing. Pile number 2, be still and ask. And pile number 3, resistance and the art of allowing. Oh, I love the synchronicity, the flow. I trust that this serves you well. And remember that you have sovereignty. You have sovereignty of how you show up in the world, how you be in the world. And we need you. We need you in the world to shine your light and to share your gifts from your most sacred and sovereign truth. And so, affording yourself a little bit of time to engage with this type of content and these types of exercises will really allow you to anchor and ground into who are you and what is your truth and what helps you feel most alive and divine and expansive and eternal, because that is who you are at your core. So if you want some guidance and support, you can use these really high vibrational, I call them DIY creative tools. Both of these card decks are on my website. And also, if you are looking for support in flexing more bodacious boundaries so that you can nurture and honor this amazing, light-filled, soul expansive human that you are in the 3D experience, I would love to hop on a call with you to talk about how I can support you on that journey, because having bodacious boundaries, both with your higher self and then all of the others that you interact with in the world, is a very powerful place to come from. Because when you are sovereign in that, then every single thing else is easy and takes care of itself. And it's far easier to manifest with so much more ease when you have bodacious boundaries, right? Because you are essentially giving the script to others and how you show up for yourself and everything that you do. And so it's time to honor that. So I'd love to support you. You can um, you can reach out to me at ask@lisbethoverton.com and just put the subject line boundaries, and I'll get back to you. I could schedule a call. All right. Have a fantastic week. And